Welcome to MKUSUAL. It's like MK Ultra, but more normal.
I'm Nick.
I'm Dennis. Crack open a cold Coca-Cola. Join us for a doozy. That was really impressive. I know they can't see. That was kind of sick, dude.
Yeah, I'm sick.
You try that 10 times, like not like that. It won't happen like that. Right through the bars, dude. Elon Musk is going to be let inside a Fort Knox depository to inspect the gold reserves. That's the headline.
This is darker than the cancer episode already.
Which might not be released yet. I have no idea what order these are going to come out. He's going to go ensure that the gold hasn't been, quote, stolen.
I have thoughts and feelings about money, so I'm curious what you've got cooked up over here.
Well, we're just going to talk in general about this. I got some, some stuff, some theories cooked up, but I bet you've heard the same theories. I do have some research. I just think this is super fascinating. I heard a rumor, maybe, I don't know where I heard this, that he might be live streaming this.
Yeah, I heard that too. He
might be going in. There was a famous thing, I think, with Geraldo Rivera, where he was going to open. They discovered Jimmy Hoffa's lockbox.
Oh.
At like a bank or vault somewhere, and they did a live. My parents told me this. I hope it's not fake, but at one point they did a live TV special where Geraldo Rivera, who has a weird storied history, done a lot of like actually meaningful journalism, went and opened up Jimmy Hoffa's lock, and then I think it was just like empty.
Now, what, if anything, that vault contains, we don't know. This is an adventure you and I are going to be taking together. But when all was said and done, all I'd found was an old stop sign.
I was hoping it'd be full of, like, his ex-lover's underwear or something.
A big black dildo.
He was just a pervert. Just a huge perv.
This kind of gives me vibes like that. Except for if he opens it and it's empty, that's the biggest story possible as far as U.S. economic stuff goes.
I mean, that's been a conspiracy that it's empty for a long time, right? Like,
yes,
decades.
And we'll get into why people think that, who thinks that.
Yeah.
All right, Fort Knox, located in Kentucky, the U.S. Gold Depository, established in 1936.
Gold?
Gold suppository.
They're putting gold up people's asses?
That's what they do, bro.
Okay.
It's where the U.S. government reportedly holds a significant portion of its gold. I actually didn't look up the exact amount, but it's like tons, I believe. It's a lot of gold. Big part of our national net worth there. Its security is extreme. Armed guards, cameras, security measures going beyond normal military facilities, making it hard, because there's no independent verification, that any gold is there at all. Some argue that the U.S. had truly run out of gold, and it would be catastrophic if we were to find out. In the 1950s, the last major public audit happened, 1953 specifically, when reporters were given access to the vault. But since then, no independent observers have been allowed in, and the U.S. Treasury has continually downplayed calls of a full audit, which have grown ever since 1971. What happened in 1971? Nixon took us off the gold standard.
Yep.
And that's 54 years ago.
147 million ounces, or about 4,582 metric tons. I hate that it gave me the ounces and then the metric tons.
Yeah, that's weird. 4,000 metric tons, dude.
Yeah.
How many F-150s is that? Let's Americanize this.
How many Chevy Silverados?
No way, man. That's gay. We got to measure it in Dodge Rams.
Dodge Ram's somehow the least gay truck.
See, my father would love to hear you say he's been a Dodge guy.
Big Dodge guy. They're like the libertarians of trucks as political parties.
So we haven't I like that when people went in 53, they bought it was reporters.
Yes.
Because you know what people are going to say about this Musk thing. They're going to say they're trying to make it a circus. This, you know what I mean? Like, they're going to say it's just a big hoopla for nothing. But, you know, in the 50s, when I think we can all agree, other than one big issue, that stuff was pretty normal and cool. Other than one very specific big issue. It was normal. You know, there was a lot more public trust back then. They just sent reporters in. And now we haven't been in, well, technically we haven't been in it looks like 72 years. But I would think when you took us off the gold standard, you should be going in there at least once every 10 years, right? I mean, just to let people know everything's chill.
They take a census every 10 years. So
count the gold.
The president, the day after they're inaugurated, should get to Scrooge McDuck the gold in the vault. He should dive in and be able to swim around, you know, like.
Yes. The
Okay.
president, yes.
That's what I
The
mean.
ultimate hardest rap album ever is Donald Trump swimming in an actual pool of gold. This goes without saying, but what's at stake if it's revealed to be empty or even lacking? Even if some of it's gone, it would probably send huge shockwaves through the U.S. and world financial system and markets, because it would prove that basically the biggest economy in the world is a little bit of a sham.
Bankrupt.
I really hope that's not true. I do think there's major issues with our country, but I will be rooting for all the gold to be there. I do not want Great Recession Part 2.
This is saying the most recent official inspection was in 2017 when the U.S. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin
I was looking at public examples.
visited the vault and tweeted that the gold is safe.
Now, Mnuchin, that's somebody who would blow the whistle.
Yeah.
He's like kind of an alt figure. He was Treasury Secretary, but
The last full audit was in 1953, though,
Right.
after Eisenhower, like you were saying.
I want to see it. I think they ought to show us the gold, baby.
Yeah, there should just be a live stream.
They should do it. They should do the live stream, dude.
Well, I mean, just like people will like watch like a dam open and close and the fish go through. There should just be like a live stream of the gold
Oh,
constantly. You should
I'd
just
watch Gold Cam.
right. You just like look how rich we are. You just that would be fun.
China's just checking on the gold. Ah, it's still there.
Damn.
Conspiracy theorists suggest the gold was secretly sold, moved, or replaced with government bonds. The freaking Dumb and Dumber briefcase full of IOUs, dude. Bro.
This one, that's a javelin missile. You're gonna want to hold on to that one.
You're going to want to keep that one.
That's an F-35. That's several $1 trillion. I don't know.
Now, here's the thing. Okay, so here's reasons why people think that. Some of the reasons, okay? No independent audit for a huge amount of time since 1953. Secrecy and silence. Never allowed full access to the public or independent auditors. And refusal only adds to suspicion. And the gold standard thing. We went off the gold standard. So technically, if they want to, be a little sneaky, do a little CIA, fund a little drugs here, little weapons there, little gold there, And think of all the presidents we've had. Think of all the corrupt people we've had. Think of all the scandals we've had that involve money. The wars. The wars, Nicholas.
The Iran-Contra scandal?
Oh my gosh. Everything that's involved us shuffling around money. Couldn't we use, we're in Iraq. Couldn't we use a little bit of... And did Steve Mnuchin, just out of curiosity, it's not like I distrust him, but he didn't go through and count it all, right? I'm guessing he got a tour.
It just says he visited the vault and tweeted, "The gold is safe."
Okay. Dude, stuff has really not changed that much since medieval times.
Nope.
We have Twitter, but we're still making sure the gold is safe.
Well, that's like, okay, that's like the history of money, right? The goldsmiths, because literal gold was the currency, so it had to be made into coins. Gold is like malleable in its pure form.
That's why it's so that's one reason it's so valuable.
Yes, there's a fixed amount, roughly, and so there would have to be people to make the coins that people traded with, And so all that gold, before it was, mixed with other metals to make it hard and like durable, was kept in one or a few places. And then people figured out, they started making paper money, that they could just issue as much paper money as they wanted, because no one wanted to carry around gold. It was easier to hide. It was more convenient to trade in the market with paper. And so they just kept issuing more and more paper until the money became fiat, and there was still only the same amount of gold in the vault. Mm-hmm. So it just like created, and now we do it digitally. And like
we're moving to full digital.
Yeah, like there will be no, and this is like crypto was supposed to be a hedge against that, because there was some like there was like
there's
like a
actual
limit.
scarcity. There really is a limit to how many bitcoins exist.
Right. So that should, but then I don't know. It just becomes like this whole thing.
All that's going to happen if we move to Americoin or whatever, in 100 years we'll have mined most of them, and then we'll go off the Americoin standard and just go to the whole fiat money versus basing money on something else. That's been like an age old fight. And I honestly look there. Dude, it just freaking occurred to me almost at the end of this episode that we're gonna get finance bros and watch this.
Oh yeah.
But I'm just gonna say it. I think there are some arguments to fiat money. I don't think it's an indefensible thing that you need the money now. It's better to spend it and invest it now than to sit around and have like essentially an artificial scarcity.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
That being said, if we open up this vault and it's freaking gone because we needed to like pay off Iran not to build a nuke or something, you know what I mean? Like if some of it's gone, not only will it hurt the whole economic system, it's going to hurt our national security.
How many other entities and markets use the US dollar? This is like the BRICS problem, and like, well, here's a conspiracy, speaking of gold and money, that like the World Bank, so we have the Federal Reserve, everyone has like this private bank. There was like 205 countries in the world, and 200 of them had a bank that was regulated under the World Bank, which is the Bank of International Settlements, and I think there's even an entity above that.
Yes.
And the last like 5 countries in the world who did not want to do this were like, where was Gaddafi? Syria? No,
he's Libya.
It was like Libya.
Oh, we straight up ice people who.
Yeah, Libya, Iran, North Korea, Cuba, maybe. And it was like everyone we've been in conflict with and just bombed or threatened with sanctions or whatever. Everyone who's non-compliant faces problems.
Yes.
If they don't comply to this, like.
So we definitely would lie.
We absolutely would lie.
And there's kind of two entities. I'll call them elites and corporations, and then government entities. Government, even though the bank is private, that would benefit from this lie essentially, because we don't have a gold-backed currency, but it is something of value that the government holds, which it's an asset that you can. It's an asset that helps you take out debt and like be able to pay the debt back. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
And essentially, the U.S. Treasury Federal Reserve, alongside other central banks, would benefit from the illusion of a stable gold reserve, essentially because stuff like the gold reserve allows them to just keep printing money and to borrow. You find out that asset's gone, no more bonds, no more borrowing. You know what I mean? And also the other thing is it might cause a run on banks.
Yeah.
Because now all you got's the dollar. People don't trust the dollars. People are going to start hoarding dollars.
What is the
massively devalue the currency?
I think I could be wrong about the exact number, but I read somewhere that In all of the US dollars that are in existence, only 2% of them exist as physical currency, like paper and coins.
Oh.
So even if there was a run on the bank and someone got all of it, they would still have less than 1% of the wealth in the world, or in the US dollar.
Oh, so you literally couldn't hoard. You couldn't hold on to the wealth of the world, is what you're saying.
Well, but they are because it's digital. It's just on servers. And so
But you couldn't physically have
Oh, no.
all the wealth in the world in a room. No matter how big the room is, because it just doesn't exist in that form.
it just simply does not exist.
Okay. Oh, so here's some famous people who probably have been murdered. I'll just list them off. Dr. Lawrence Parks, financial analyst. He suggests the gold was sold off under the guise of government secrecy to support other financial systems and obligations. There's been numerous anonymous sources who have argued that Fort Knox was used as a public symbol of wealth, while in reality the U.S. government is quietly transferring gold reserves elsewhere. Gary North, economist and author, written about economic theory and financial history, he points out the inconsistency in the U.S. government's historical accounts of Fort Knox's gold, speculating that gold might have been secretly sold or moved during times of crisis or foreign debts. Joseph Farwell, author and researcher, same claims. William T. Still, author and investigator, arguing that in the years following the U.S. departure from the gold standard, all of it was secretly sold off. So there have been whistleblowers.
Those are all people who have died after blowing
No,
the
I'm
whistle?
just saying. I didn't look
okay.
up
Okay.
all of them individually. I just was like,
got you.
has anyone whistleblown this? And apparently, kind of. Or at
mean,
least there's.
Ron Paul famously called for a full audit of the Fed, which would... So, like, okay, maybe you know the details of this a little better than I do. The government, the federal government, the Treasury, issues Treasury bonds, which are bought by the Federal Reserve.
I believe so.
And then that allows the money to be printed or created, to be injected into the money supply. But the only reason that the Federal Reserve has that ability is because the bonds are issued. It's an IOU. It's essentially an IOU. If
Yeah.
I don't understand, unless I don't understand
It's
it.
debt.
But okay. It's debt. So debt-based economy. Off the gold standard. This is like, the volatility creates like the ability to gain wealth. But like with a fixed.
Yeah.
If it's fixed to a gold standard, you can only acquire so much wealth.
I don't know, man.
Without it does. Okay, so this is, I guess, is like a argument for fiat money. Is like, if you keep creating the opportunity for more wealth, there is no fighting over the wealth. You know what I'm like?
I get what you're saying.
Maybe there is like this is a peaceful resolution. It's like a stop loss against human greed
But that's just inflation. That's just saying,
Yeah.
hey, you don't need to unionize because, like, we're just going to rate. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes, I know. I'm just like,
comment below. What's your favorite DuckTales episode?
yeah. Comment below how much gold is in your vaults currently
Oddly enough.
and where your vault is located.
And the passcode to your vault.
Mine, it's in my gold suppository.